it sort of all came together. The healing, the crystals, my love of crystals, my love of sustainability and boho designs.
I would like to welcome Crystal Johns to the podcast. How are you?
I'm very well, Kelly. Thank you. How are you?
I'm not too bad. We had technical issues and it's taken us a little while to get to this place, but thankfully we're here. I want to ask you a question. I ask um all of my guests this question, especially if they've got their own business and they are looking to help couples on their big day. And it is, what is it that you do and what inspired you to do it?
So, I basically make wedding table centerpieces and they are bespoke and handmade. So, I actually have one so I can
Mhm.
show you. And they're made from a glass bottle, but the unique bit about it, I don't know if you can see that, is they have a crystal in them.
Oh, wow.
And it's called aventurine and it's abundance crystal. But there are many different crystals, and the ones that I work with are love crystals. And then a few customizable elements. You can see, I don't know if you can see, but it's customizable ribbon that you can have your names on, and it's got fairy lights. And who doesn't love
Oh,
fairy
wow.
lights? So they
Wasn't
like
expect that was some magic. It was just green.
that. Oh, gorgeous. But yeah, so that's what I do. The inspiration actually behind it was that I'll try and shorthand the story. I work as a nurse, so I used to work as a allergy nurse actually. Still sort of do bank shifts, but obviously during COVID and stuff like that, it was quite difficult. There was a lot of burnout.
Mhm.
And myself, I was actually engaged at this point and looking to get married. And that's where the inspiration sort of came about because I was making the bottles with the fairy lights. But life being the wonderful thing that it is, that engagement didn't quite work out, which was fine. And it sort of sent me on a path of healing. And that really just made me reflect about my life. And I just thought, nursing is it's really good, it's really rewarding, but it was really hard and I felt myself getting quite tired and a little burnt out from it. And I just thought I need I need to do something else with my life. So I was speaking to a friend and my friend was like, you should do something with healing crystals. And then lo and behold, a couple of days after that, I was sketching on my pad and I thought, what if I put the crystal in the bottle? It sort of all came together. The healing, the crystals, my love of crystals, and my love of sustainability and boho designs sort of all came together as one. And Crystals Healing Lights was born. We've been going for a year now, and we're actually due to showcase at the National Wedding Show in Birmingham in September. So, in short, that's the story.
Wow. That is a nice journey. I know most of our journeys when we get to a point where we're happy and we're thriving start at a place where it can be quite traumatic or heartbreaking. I know my journey to get here was quite traumatic and heartbreaking. So I think we can all kind of resonate with that kind of story. It's nice that you also didn't stop what you loved to do, because obviously you had your engagement that you were doing and were you like trying to do DIY projects yourself for that, and that's how this kind of came about?
Yeah, yeah, it was exactly that. It was just me sort of like, I love decor. I love decor and decorations. And I just thought, let me try and make the centerpieces. And that's what I was doing. I was collecting bottles from everyone. Like I said, life being as it was, it didn't quite work out. And then I truly decided to kind of sort myself out, do the therapy work and stuff like that. Story gets a bit kind of crazy, but I was sort of told in a reading, in a psychic reading, I would have this business idea. I was thinking to myself, well, what's the idea? And then my friend at work, Sabrina, actually, bless her, she's like, well, you should work with healing crystals. They have healing powers, you know. If you hold it in your hand starts itching. I was like, what is all of this? Okay, let me look. Especially because when I was at school, kids, I always used to have like crystal ball, crystal maze, crystal this, crystal that. So sort of stayed away from all the crystals for that very reason. And then I just thought, let me go into a crystal shop, let me explore, let me find out. And yeah, it was really cool. They have many different healing powers, and I was like, wow, this is amazing. And the more I researched into it, the more interested I was in it. And I thought, this is incredible. Then I thought, oh, well, no one's doing this. So let me try and combine the two. And it sort of all came together. And then obviously, because the initial product was for a wedding, then my other friend, Tom, was like, Crystal, if the product was made for a wedding, you should definitely pursue the wedding route. I was like, okay, let me just bring love and joy and happiness and abundance, not only to the couple, but to the entire wedding party as well. I think, what's more special than that? So very sustainable for the environment. Also working with like different businesses as well to keep their empty sort of bottles, prime bottles, glass bottles, and stuff like that. So I think it's just a fabulous product.
I love the sustainability of your product. And I also love the story of you venturing into a crystal shop, because I remember my first time in a crystal shop. I was like a kid in a sweet store. I was like, oh my God, I want this, I want that, I want everything. And all on my desk right now, I've got crystals everywhere. So I absolutely love this conversation.
Yeah.
What's your most popular crystal that couples go for?
I would say like rose quartz, but I think that's because a lot of people like rose quartz is quite well known,
Mhm.
to be honest, as a love crystal. I did have a girl that really, really liked the kunzite crystal, and oh, it's a beautiful stone. It's very beautiful, and it's a really good one for couples and marriages, and it's like a love magnet one. But I think rose quartz is the most popular one. But I've got like a love healing, a love chart,
Mhm.
which couples can pick from. There are about 8, 9 different crystals on there. So I think we've got things like aventurine, rose quartz, kunzite. Do you know, I've drawn a blank now.
Put you on the spot,
Lapis.
sorry.
No, no, no. There's quite a few different ones on there. So, and the beautiful thing is that you don't have to pick one crystal. The couples can make their own sort of tailored package. So they can pick a couple of crystals. They could pick one for abundance and one specifically for love and one for communication. And I think that's really beautiful. You could have all different ones if you wanted as well. So there are quite a varied range. Not too many, otherwise I think it would be too much choice. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's quite stunning actually.
Yeah, I love that. What how can my couples use your bottles? Where do you recommend they put them, or can you just put them anywhere on your big day?
I would say, Kelly, there are a few different places that you can put them. So you can put them on your top table, you can put it on the wedding tables, but it also could be used for decor. So if you wanted to put it on the dance floor, you can absolutely do that, light up that dance floor, have it as sort of staged as part of the wedding decor. It's like however you want to use it. But also if they wanted to liaise with me, and we could kind of come up with ideas together and look at the venue, then that would be incredible too. It's not just sort of has to be on the table, it can be used in many different ways.
I know also you mentioned just before we started filming that you can also use this as gift ideas too.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. So I actually do make bespoke products. So if the groom or the bride would want to give really nice personalized bespoke presents to their wedding party, then they can have one specially made with their customized crystal in there. They could even get it engraved if they wanted, with a little message on and their own special ribbon, and whatever color they wanted in terms of fairy lights we could get. So something quite classic like warm white lights, or something a bit jazzy like green or blue, or even multicolored actually. Recently did a multicolored pride bottle actually. It's a bit different rather than going for bog standard Nothing against like chocolates or flowers or anything like that, but it's just more individualized. And I think, you know, it has that personal touch, which would go quite far with a lot of people.
Definitely. I love the unique aspect to this and how you can completely customize it and have it bespoke for you in your wedding, or if you're giving it as a gift, creating making it individual to the person that you're giving it to. I think that's such a beautiful touch to it.
It's stunning. It's like you could totally give it to your wedding party, or actually, if you were attending another wedding yourself, then we have the sort of product where you could pick the bottle, have the couple's names written on it, engraved onto it, and then you could handpick whichever crystal you wanted, picking the colour of the ribbon as well and the fairy lights. And I think it's just a stunning, unique gift. If a couple has newly got engaged, we also sell one which is very similar. It's sort of like that, but they have love scrolls in them.
Oh.
So if you've gotten engaged, I think this is a really beautiful idea. You can write down like maybe a little story, or maybe if you know, met your partner in the pub and you chatted them up, you could put that on the scroll. Um, or even, you know, just like how you feel about your partner. And it is beautiful. It's got the calligraphy writing, and it's just something really authentic and unique to that couple. And I made one actually for some friends quite recently, and they loved it. It's really stunning.
It is a beautiful thing. I go onto your Instagram and I do look at them because I'm getting married in a few years' time. Well, hopefully next year, but we'll see how things go. Um, and I was thinking of unique touches to have on my big day. And I remember looking at them going, oh, that would look nice, especially on I'm doing like a memory table for loved ones that can't be there. And I thought I could have like a bottle with like nice white lights in, just so it illuminates everybody that's on the table sort of thing, and then having, like, various bottles on other tables too. It's just a really nice little touch to have that's no one else has had. I've not seen it anywhere else.
Well, it definitely is unique. This sort of idea just kind of came together, like I said. But everywhere we've sort of gone, we've done many a show, from the National Wedding Show sort of last year at the Excel, and then the wedding party. We've done quite a few shows, so forgive me if I can't think of them all at once. Everyone loves the ideas, and I just think if you're a crystal lover, you're really going to love it. The natural powers of the healing crystals doesn't even, you know, it of course it extends to the bride and groom, but it's about extending it to everyone, and it's just sort of uplifting you. And I think it's just really nice product to have. When the lights go down, it's sort of like party time and you're going on the dance floor, you can just watch them sparkle away in the corner, and it's truly stunning. But I could talk about crystals all day. So
Me and you both. I just love the fact that you can have something after your big day. Like, I say this to my brides and grooms all the time, like, when you're looking at suppliers and things like that, look at it at, is it going to be an asset or a luxury? Is it going to be something that I can keep for a long period of time? Or is it something that's gonna be like a quick flash in the pan? And I love that you can keep the bottles and have them as decor in your house.
yeah,
A
yeah,
beautiful touch. And you can even give, if you've got them, I mean, I don't know if people do this anyway, but say if you've got several on different tables, you
yeah,
could give those
yeah,
to people on your table. So you don't have to think of other gift ideas too. So it's
yeah.
like a two-in-one kind of thing, which is really, really good.
Well, Kelly, you took the words right out of my mouth. That's exactly what I was going to say. Right at the end of the night, give them away. It's like a lovely gift idea. You know, some people have favors, but I understand for every single person it might be a bit much. But, you know, you could sort of give it away, one sort of centerpiece per person from that table, or, you know, have a little competition or however you want to
Mm.
do it. I think it's really sweet. But yeah, they're just, it's beautiful. And well, of course, I'm going to be in love with it. I'm the creator. You know,
Do the couples, when they come to you, do they choose the bottle, or do you have an array of bottles, or do they say, can I have such and such?
So
Jack Daniel's bottle.
if they wanted to give me a bottle, by all means, they can. I'm not exactly short of bottles because I've got family and friends and the pub down the road. There's so I do have quite a collection of bottles. So I normally just would take a photograph of all the different bottles that I have and then send it off and just say like, which one do you like? Some might be a bit fancier than other bottles and some of them might be quite plain. But I think with the white ones, like it's better because you can actually see into it.
Yeah.
But the one that I had previously done was like a gin bottle, so it was more of like a globe shape, which I think was better. To complement the bottles, I started working on some wedding stationery.
Oh,
So
wow.
that's a new project that I have going on, but I think it would be quite stunning. It sort of goes into a bit more depth of each crystal and their meaning, and it would look pretty cool on the wedding table.
You said you're going to the National Wedding Show in Birmingham, which is
Yeah,
just up the road from me, actually. When is that? Is that September?
it's September. I want to say it's the 22nd to 24th. So it's the
Mhm.
Friday, the Saturday, and the Sunday. And actually, it's really exciting. I'm kind of getting my stand prepped as we speak. So we'll be exhibiting at stand C26, which is right near the VIP section.
Ooh.
And this is actually very exciting now. um, we are giving away 2 free tickets to the National Wedding Show in Birmingham. So you can win your chance to come and see us and check out all the other stands as well. You just have to repost one of our posts or stories and retag us. And actually, as part of that, you will win your chance of getting a free centerpiece or gift, whichever one, and you'll be put into an automatic raffle.
I will link everything for everybody to see as well, so they can head on over to your Instagram page so they
Yeah,
can repost your post. That's right, isn't it? Repost your post.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
what is your Instagram handle, and do you have an Etsy store as well? It's Etsy, isn't it?
Yeah. So I do have an Etsy store. The shop name is Crystal's Healing Light. So it's all as one
Mhm.
and it should come up. And the Instagram handle is really easy. It's Crystal's Healing Lights, but in between each word, there's underscores. So it's Crystal underscore healing underscore lights underscore. And as we currently speak, I'm having a website built. So it's
Oh,
very
exciting.
exciting. Yeah. So all my stuff will be linked from my Instagram page, and I'm also actually on Magpie wedding events directory, so
Mhm.
you can find me on there. And I'm very active on Instagram, but I have got all the other handles as well of TikTok, Pinterest, and Facebook. Get a little bit lost because there's so many social media
Oh,
channels.
I know the feeling. I'm starting on one and I'm just like, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just posting.
I'm just posting, just hoping someone will see it. Um, but yeah, so I'm very active on Instagram. So if you wanted to DM me, you totally can, or email me, that's fine, or contact me through the directory. I think my website will be done very soon. It will be very exciting. Can't wait to see it. So all the information should be on there. But I'm really looking forward to the National Wedding Show. I think it will be really, really good.
Actually, the National Wedding Show in Birmingham is really, really good. I've been a few times now, and actually, where your place is actually an ideal spot, from what I remember.
That's fantastic. I haven't been to the Birmingham one yet. We did London, and London was really good. And then we had some friends over there. It was like a laser light show. They
Oh, wow.
were amazing. It was really funny because someone said, "Look, you're like total opposites. You're like entirely calm," and they're like, "Woo!" they're like, "Party!" And I'm like,
Yeah.
that's what it's all about, and we're all supportive of one another, and I think that's a really, really cool thing. This business journey has been so much fun. I mean, don't get me wrong, as you know, obviously being a businesswoman yourself, there are a lot of highs and lows and dips and downs, but then really good days. And by going to the National Wedding Show last year, because I don't do things by halves, if I say I'm going to do something, I go like 110% in. So my first wedding show was actually the National Wedding Show. I could have started a lot smaller, but I didn't. And I guess they had faith in my product, so they were like, "Yeah, come along." That was a real journey for me because I'd been sort of like so confident in my nursing ability then, and to transfer that confidence into business, I was like, okay, I got talking to one of the wedding planners and she said, you have a really unique product here. You can definitely pitch your idea to most of the hotels. And she's like, you're missing a trick if you don't go do that. As soon as I heard that, I was like, boom, okay, let me go. I have no idea what I'm doing, going in blind, but let me just and I came away from that show having liaised with like what felt like 40 odd people, not having a clue how to pitch, not having a clue how to talk to them. The amount of confidence that did give me, I was like, oh my God, I can actually do this. And you know, once you've done something and you like really surprise yourself, you're like, wow, that was amazing. And since then, I'd actually been lucky enough to be a supplier for Eastwell Manor at Champneys, and I sort of it was fate, if you call it, because we were just beside them, but I didn't speak to them till the very end. We spoke to them, and we've done a couple wedding shows for them, and they're absolutely awesome, lovely, 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 such a great venue as well. I couldn't believe that I'd come away with them as a supplier,
Mhm.
and I also had got about maybe 3 others, I think, from that wedding show as suppliers, and you're like, "Wow, so that's what happens when I push myself." And it's like the story of, like, confidence where you leave something, leave the thing that you're comfortable with, and you go out into a different zone, and you don't know what you're doing, and it's like, okay, I'm going to fly out of the plane. There might not be a parachute, but whatever. I went for it, and I just thought, wow, I've got like 3 or 4 different suppliers now. That's amazing. And now I'm going back to the National Wedding Show and have met really amazing business people, and they've all been a part of my journey, and it's just very exciting. I'm getting my website built, and I'm really excited for the future, and it's sort of that sort of kind of led me on as well. I've sort of written a little short story about confidence, which is kind of based on me. Well, it is based on me. Uh, it sort of talks about like I was actually really quiet. I know I'm a real chatterbox here, but I was actually really, really quiet child, a bit different and really shy, and sort of like going through school and university and stuff. But I think you have to have faith in yourself, your skills, and know that if you trust yourself, like you can do anything. And I really do believe that. And that's what's inspired me to write this little short story, which, you know, will probably come out like in a good few years, but I think it will be amazing. It's something that not just like adults can read, like children can read and know that it's okay to be a bit quirky and a bit different. Ultimately, those are the things that make you unique and make you you. And those are the things that will propel you forward in life. The story of confidence and crystals, that's my story.
It sounds very inspiring.
Yeah, I hope so. Although I do think I'm only 34, I'm like, am I really that much of an inspiration? I don't know. I don't know.
We all have our inspirational stories. It starts from somewhere. We're going to inspire somebody at least.
I hope so. Obviously, Nelson, you interviewed. We love Nelson. Nelson's great. Is from VIP Waiters, and when I met him, I was like, I'm sorry, what do you do? And he was giving me all these ideas, and then he told me he was a singing waiter. I was like, what's a singing waiter? And then he told me he's very inspiring, but also meeting all these inspiring business people that help drive you on and spur you on and keep going. And it's like, keep going, you know that you're going to dig gold, you just can't give up yet, you're going to get
Mhm.
there. It's pretty incredible. And I've had the pleasure of meeting really, really nice couples and customers that really love the crystal idea as well, and the sustainability aspect as well. So I think it is, for me personally, I think it's important that we all do our bit for the environment. But I think reusing the glass bottles like this is an excellent idea, and people really love that.
I agree. I think a lot in weddings can be very wasteful, and
Yeah,
so having something that, as I said before, having something that you can keep and have as decor in your home or give as a gift
Yeah.
is really good. And I really resonate with the whole I can do this, because there's a part of me that still goes, I'm interviewing people. Like several months ago, well, last November, I started this podcast journey and I was like, I'm going to do it. 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 And I didn't do it till April because I put it off for so long. And then as soon as you start doing it, you start talking to people, it just becomes easier and easier and easier. And you're like, why was I worried? Why was I worried about it?
Yeah. 100%. No, I totally agree. I totally agree. I mean, I'll confess that I really could have got my website sort of done in like the first 6 months if I would have, put my sort of time and attention to it. But it all sort of, I think everything kind of happens for a reason. So I recently went on this study day. I met this really great guy. His name is Rob, actually. He's building my website and he's just incredible. Him and his ideas, and he's he's a marketing genius. Actually, I've met quite a few of them, Nelson being one as well. But it's amazing. So it's all sorts of, it does sort of happen as it's meant to happen, I think.
I'm going to pop all of your links down so all of my couples can come and find you, and also the competitions that my couples can come and do. Make sure
Yeah.
you do go and see Crystal at the National Wedding Show in Birmingham. But for now, do you have any last pieces of advice or anything like that for my couples at all?
What I had learned actually in my previous relationship, I think communication is key. If you always have the communication there and you see each other's points of view, if you talk to each other, then it'll all be blissful. Never go to bed on an argument. That is something that I think holds true.
An important one. I live by that one too.
Other than that, it's been absolute pleasure and thank you for having me on, and I look forward to meeting everyone, hopefully at the National Wedding Show. If not, maybe at a different fair. Yeah, it's been a pleasure connecting with you.
And you, thank you so much for your time today. And I wish you all the best for the future because you've got so many exciting things coming up.
Thank you.